Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to this reaction to the main event of Backlash. John Cena retains against Randy Orton, thanks largely to R-Truth. And honestly, I had loads of thoughts on this, but there has been a big development, so we're going to take a bit of a walk, okay? I'm seeing so many people split on this. Maybe those opinions are going to change with the development that we just got at the press conference. I think R-Truth being a comedy character, being someone that has loved John Cena since he was a kid, his childhood hero, even though from an age point of view that doesn't really work, has got its place in WWE. People love it. People find it fun, right? But now seeing R-Truth get involved during a title match, that's a bit of a line crossed in my opinion, right? I do think the moment they bring him out is very clever, though, because he didn't interfere when the ref was in the ring or the match was actually happening. He kind of interfered when there was no ref and Randy was about to deliver a punt kick. He was about to deliver a punt. So actually what R-Truth did was he stopped Randy from doing something that could have serious repercussions to John Cena. You know, he didn't come down and distract during the match. He didn't come down and interfere and cause a DQ or wherever it might have been. He came down at this specific moment just to stop Randy from delivering that punt kick. Now, I'm still a bit uncomfortable with it because, I don't know, I don't really feel like this is a place for R-Truth. I understand that people want R-Truth versus John Cena. I think there's like a million different ways we can get to that. I don't know that I needed him getting involved here. So for me, I thought the match was what I was expecting. Lots of shenanigans. I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty fun. R-Truth getting involved is something I didn't need, but we did just get something pretty big at the press conference after, which I think might explain this, okay? So, of course, R-Truth got involved. Moments later, Cena would get the advantage, would go on to secure the victory. Afterwards, we got this. At the press conference, John Cena was talking to the press. R-Truth came in to congratulate him. And he was like, you know, I've always had your back. You know, I'm a big fan. You know, I don't care about what those people say about how you can't wrestle. And all that kind of stuff. John Cena warns R-Truth. He's like, he says his name actually, Ron. I don't expect you to say anything else, right? You're in trouble with me. Don't say another words. And so he gives him that warning, right? AA through the table. Cena looks out at the press, grabs his belt and walks away. So I don't know if we needed R-Truth to get involved in that main event. We could have just had R-Truth come out during the press conference. But, you know, I think they've kind of tied it in with that. And a lot of people are saying now that we're going to get John Cena versus R-Truth, Saturday night's main event. That is only a couple of weeks away. I know that Cena was on the poster for that. We were talking during the watch-along. Don't know if he's having a match. Didn't know if it was a contract signing. Might have been a promo. It might have been that Cena was there to talk about the future and then someone interrupts Cena. But yeah, with him planting R-Truth through that table, definitely feels like that's the direction that we're going now. So, you know, this largely went the way that I thought. I did not expect R-Truth. So it's largely going the way that I thought with the shenanigans. Wasn't expecting R-Truth. Certainly wasn't expecting R-Truth to get AA'd in that press conference. But it does very much feel like he and Cena are now on a collision course. The only thing I would say is, knowing R-Truth, though, we might see him on Raw on Monday, and he might still be full of respect for John. He might be like, he was in a bad mood, you know? I'm not blaming him. His emotions were high. He might dismiss it. And so it might take a little bit more than this to get us to that match. But as of right now, I think Cena R-Truth has got to be a front runner for Saturday night's main event in a couple of weeks' time. It could be pretty fun, though, on Monday if R-Truth now hates John Cena. If now we're going to see R-Truth like being all anti-Cena. I don't know how Randy's going to feel about R-Truth going forward, though. He definitely did cause the distraction that resulted in Cena winning this match. So I asked the question of the community, what did you think about R-Truth helping Cena win this main event? Was you a fan of Cena and Randy, right? WrestleNight said, the outside of me not wanting to see Truth get beat up by Cena, I loved it. It makes sense, and I'm invested in this Truth-Cena angle. So WrestleNight from an R-Truth stan. Dr. Pina said that was a level 7 Pina smash to Orton. Chalky White said people will hate on it because of the results, but the match, the main event of Backlash itself was exceptional. Everyone in the crowd was invested. It was a great match. Raymond said, I wanted Randy to win, but R-Truth helping Cena, I didn't understand it. Well, I think, he's a Cena fan. I think he wanted to stop the punt. I think that's what he wanted to stop. I don't know that he would have done anything to have denied Randy winning if the ref was in there and the match was actually happening. We didn't see R-Truth get involved during the match other than that one point where Randy was backing up to deliver the punt. So I think he just wanted to stop John from getting punted. And, obviously the stuff we've just seen kind of indicates that we might be now heading towards a match at Saturday night's main event. But I've not seen any confirmation. I mean, that's literally just happened at the time of recording this. So I called it, R-Truth coming out makes sense for Cena winning as a heel. I feel good about Truth helping Cena. I was cheering for Orton, but I knew Cena was winning. I'm now angry at R-Truth, but I love it, said Phantom67. Crossface said, I thought it freaked Randy out for one. I don't think Cena cared. Glow said, I was not a fan of the helping. R-Truth needed to stay out of it. To be honest, I think he still could have stayed out of it. If you want to do R-Truth John Cena, you could have just done the press conference thing. You could have had R-Truth go up to John Cena at the press conference and say congratulations and still ended up where we ended up. Like, he still didn't need to get involved in the match. But that's what they decided to do. Tat Boy said it was what the Mania main event should have been. And I didn't mind the Mania match. Cena Orton exceeded my expectations by 100%. Cena looked good here. And even though I knew he would win, there was some really great moments where I thought that Orton was going to pull it off. It was fun. Jeff said, R-Truth helping Cena makes a lot of sense. Truth was so admirable about his childhood hero being back and sticking up for him since his return. Nico said, I didn't like Truth. I mean, there was already tons of BS. That was too much. And then that damn ending, just like WrestleMania. Like, come on, man. Have Randy kick out one more time at least. But again, things have just been up and down. Hopefully when we get OTC Cody back, then things will pick up, said Nico. Well, actually, I think Cody is expected to be back on SmackDown this Friday. So he should be back relatively soon. Jeremy said, I don't like it. I really love Truth, but damn, don't do me like that. Evan said, I have always and will always despise the Cena heel turn. It's just not how this final year should be. I expected Truth to help. The match was enjoyable, but I find these endings so flat. I feel the same about WrestleMania 41. If Truth Cena ends up in a match, I'll be disappointed. I hope you didn't see what went down at the press conference, but Michael said predictable and it's very poor creative. Can't wait for the last time to be over. I'm already over it. Already it's boring. Can they not release John and bring Braun back, says Michael. Airflow said, I thought it was really entertaining and I loved it. I was scared the old men couldn't deliver. Tom said it was inevitable that they would do something with them. R-Truth is a legend in his own right. I'm interested to see what direction this goes. Hayden said anything is better than Travis helping. Well, that's true. Gator Tom said it was a terrible ending. Would have been a great spot for the Wyatt Six to return. Would have taken a Goldberg spear instead of R-Truth. Mitchell said, I'm guessing we're going to get a 2-week feud with the both of them, said Mitchell. Maybe, yeah. I mean, with him going through that table, that's obviously a big development. I just don't know. You never know with R-Truth if he's not going to just shake that off and be like, no, he was just not feeling himself, and just carry on. Or is he now going to be anti-Cena? I'm not sure. Big Slick said, I thought it was great. We needed some R-Truth involvement at some point. I'm glad it was there. I hope they do Cena Truth one time before Cena is done, but I doubt they will. Well, I know you've written that before the press conference, but obviously there's been developments and things are looking pretty good. Jaden said, I enjoyed it, but at the same time with Truth, if AEW did something like that at the end of the match, IWC would have pooped all over it. Truth has no connection to the feud whatsoever. The only reason he got involved is because it's his childhood hero, even though the guy is like 50 odds. It is true, he is a comedy character, and using a comedy character in this way is obviously interesting. I do think there'll be a lot of people interested in Cena Truth the match. I mean, I don't give R-Truth any chance. I think he could get quite close. You know, I think he could get quite close. I think there'll be lots of 2 counts, nearly getting a 3 count, all that kind of stuff. But ultimately, Cena's going to leave the winner, isn't he? WWE Ethan said, no, I wasn't a fan. If you're going to use R-Truth, you needed Cena to beat him up. Well, they sort of just saved that for the press conference, didn't they? James said it's whatever. Wrestling is Fun said the match was super fun, not going to lie. JC said, I think it was Cena's best match since coming back by far. Yeah, I mean, he's only had the 2 singles matches, I believe, and this was better than WrestleMania. Travel Agent said 5 out of 10. It was less than SmackDown's. Ryan said good until the ending. Wrestling Junkie said main event was fun, a lot better than WrestleMania. Jason said I was confused as to why. It had nothing to do with the match. Wrestling fan since day one, shout out to you. Mary said we need R-Truth Cena at some point. Overall, it was not a bad match. That's Cena Randy. Barry said, nope, not really. Felt it was unnecessary, said David. Metal Mama, shout out to you. Larry said, Daze, R-Truth should have not got involved, but he got an RKO for it, and later an AA through the press conference table. It may lead to R-Truth's turn on Cena. Cena Orton was a great match. I will always be an R-Truth fan. Orton rules. WWE needs more refs. That is true. Wyndham is Eternal said, looks like they want to add some wrinkles to Cena's matches just to end up with the same boring conclusion. Ref bumps, low blows, interference, hits with titles. It's going to be a long, boring title run with Cena doing the same promos every appearance. Wrestling's biggest fan said it was a great match, but I wanted Randy to win. Jim said it was great. It was better than I expected. John said, I liked the match. I thought it was good. I would have liked it if Cody had come out, though. Elizabeth said, I enjoyed the entertaining part, so I loved it. Avic said, something is cooking. Tiger Raptor said, there was no way Cena was beating Orton clean, getting sick of the old ref bump, so someone doesn't win. It's getting old and boring, because once that happens, just turn off the match. You know the result. I feel like this is setting up Truth Cena match. Slamming said, Truth is going to get punted. Cherub said, my goat did nothing wrong. And I think Spiller there said, it was a good match. Definitely the best Cena has done since Elimination Chamber. And damn you, R-Truth. Well, I wonder how people are feeling after that moment where he gets planted through the table. I agree. Definitely feels like we are setting up R-Truth Cena, maybe for Saturday night's main event. I still question as to why he needed to get involved in Cena Orton. There were so many shenanigans anyway, with refs getting knocked down. It didn't really feel like it needed R-Truth to get involved. But I think they just wanted to get him out there, show that he is close with Cena. Maybe so when this moment happened, it carried a little more weight, because we know that R-Truth just helped John, and now this is how John repays him. So I think that's probably the story, but debatable as to whether that was the right thing to do. I think people have got different opinions on that. I wonder how people will feel about R-Truth John Cena if that's where we get to. But to be honest, I think that will be very well received. So there we go. Thoughts on the main event of Backlash. Really appreciate people joining us. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.